else using it? Okay. You guys may want to come over here because what I'm going to do is I'm going to toggle back and forth between my presentation and ChatGPT so that I can kind of show you. So I set out to find somebody to bring AI to you guys to talk about it, but I really couldn't find anybody that was specific to, like, how does it help us with our real estate business? There's a lot of information out there, there's a ton of it, but I wanted to make it really useful on a day-to-day practice for you guys to go, here's how I can implement it. So what I've done is, and you guys are gonna help me, is I've created a scenario where we are opening up a new farm in Rossmore. And we are going to, in about 30 minutes, create a website. We're gonna create marketing material. We're gonna create like a consumer guide, a blog, a property management company, and we're gonna get a lot of good content for those things, and I'm gonna show you how to do it so that you can think through how you would apply this to your business. How does that sound?
Sweet.
Crazy. Yeah, okay, can we turn off the lights?
Ooh.
Yes, I think
Yeah, up there.
up there. Thanks, Tony.
Perfect. All right, perfect. Okay, so before I jump into actually going back and forth with that scenario, I want to give you a little bit of the background on AI and where it started and where it's evolving to. And just so you know, full disclosure, because I couldn't find anybody, I did a deep dive on this to try to put something together, do the research, do the, so I don't know everything about it. There's a ton I don't know, but what I wanted to do is take what are the things that we can use that will help us do things faster and move our business forward. All right, so what is AI? So a couple examples of AI would be search engines like Google, content recommendations from Netflix and some of those other streaming services. So you know how Netflix will say, because you watch this, we recommend you watch this, this, and this. So that's AI behind the scenes doing some predictive analytics to guess and make educated guesses on what you might like, the content that you like. So it's out there, you're using it, probably without even knowing it, okay? Self-driving vehicles, automatic language translation. Does anybody use Google Translator?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that'll just, and it translates word for word, and we're gonna talk about how that's different now with AI. Facial recognition, computer games, and I think the best example, does anybody use Gmail? Okay, so you know how on Gmail you'll start writing out your email and it will kind of predict what you want to say and finish it. And you're like, oh, that actually said it way better than I would have said it. You know, and you just use that. That's AI built into it, where it's sort of predicting what you're going to say and giving you something that you can use. I actually like that aspect of Gmail. Okay, so that's a little bit about what it is. All right, and it's also it's machine learning. It's learning as we are using it. It's consuming the information that we're giving it. It's consuming all the information that's out there and giving us a lot of information very quickly, and I'll show you that in a second. So there's a company called OpenAI, and they were the ones that created ChatGPT, which is the one you're hearing most about. And they started in 2020 and started allowing people to go to this. It's almost like a Google search engine. It's very simple. You type in what you want to ask it, and it spits out information. They called that the Chat 3.0. That was the first one. Now they shut that one down, and I'll talk about that in a second. They shut that one down, and now the latest version is 4. Okay, GPT-4. So the first version ended its learning in 2021, actually September of 2021. It's free, you can still use it, it still kicks out, that's one we're gonna use today, kicks out very useful information. and it has learned an infinite amount of things, and then they've taken it and exponentially had this version learn even more. So to give you an example of that, oh, by the way, the first version was free. The next version, which is an upgraded version, is available by subscription for about $20 a month, okay? But in the first version, where they took like a year and a half's worth of data, oh, let me go back here. Took a year and a half's worth of data. It actually took about the parameters and the data of about 175 billion pieces of information coming through. Today with ChatGPT 4, it has grown exponentially to, they think, over 100 trillion pieces of data. And we're talking in just like a year or two. So let me go back here for a second. So ChatGPT isn't the only one out there. There are other AI learning models, is what they call them. One of them is by Google, and its name is Bard. And Bard works very similar to ChatGPT, okay? It has slightly different algorithms, it has different training and learning models, but again, it's just it's a different product than ChatGPT, but works similar, okay? I asked ChatGPT, like, when did it start? I mean, when I was first doing my research, I'm like, when did all of this start? And it answered me and said, they didn't have a specific start date. My responses are generated based on the training data I've been exposed to up until September 2021. So it talks to you like it's a person. And that's one of the other key differences in the older version and the newer version. So let me talk to you about that, because it plays into what we're gonna talk about. They found that with the older version, it really kicked out like robotic answers to things, and they really wanted it to have more human-like answers to things. So in this newer version, it's added empathy. It's added tones, meaning if I wanna write something in a professional tone, I can tell it to write it in a professional tone. If I want it to write in a creative, fun tone, it will switch up how it writes, and it's crazy. So those are some of the changes in the way it behaves. And I think based on what I've seen, they're gonna use it in a lot of customer service type methods. And so having it be more human-like just makes more sense. Okay. So with the newer version, it's got more accuracy, precision. I'm not saying that everything that comes out of it is correct. So we'll talk about that, but you need to still fact check it, because it's still learning, and everything you input again is based on it learning from you. All right, so what can it do? How do you apply it to your business? All right, so here's what I want to do. Let's talk through this, and then we're going to give examples in my scenario of starting a new farm in Rossmore. We're going to apply this. So a few things that it can do. Number one, it does a good job at comparing different things. So if you asked it, what's the difference between a condo and a townhome? It may write up several paragraphs about the differences between the two. All right. Number two, it can rewrite in a certain parameter. So you might say, I'll give you an example. Have you guys ever written something and you're like struggling with it, and you're like, I know this could sound better? You could actually put that paragraph in there, and you could say, rewrite this in less than 200 words. And it will restructure it, reorganize it, and in seconds spit it back out to you in a rewritten format. Email templates and responses, we'll talk about that. It can write blogs. So if you wanted to have a real estate blog, you wanted to have a blog on something else, so I'll show you how to do that. It will help you with brainstorming ideas. So for example, I want to write a book on how first-time homeowners can, the 10 mistakes first-time home buyers make, something like that. Help me with a name for my book. So you can you a little bit of that. Creative writing help, it'll summarize text, so it does a good job of summarizing large pieces of text and drilling them down to, you could say, put this in bullet points, and it'll take that whole piece of text and bullet point it out, okay? List generation. Give me a list of 10 ways to maximize my home value. Boom, it'll show you. It does a good job of listing out the pros and cons and then the language translations. Okay. So, what can it help you with in your business? Marketing content, website content, blog content, writing property descriptions, brainstorming ideas for videos, returning emails, and a couple things. Talk to it like you're giving it commands like you're talking to a person, okay? And then again, fact check the results before publishing it. Now, here's a big question that was asked. Is the information that it gives you copyrighted? Like if I say, okay, give me 10 reasons why to maximize my home value, is that, can you literally copy and paste that into your website?
Why not?
It's actually not copywritten, so yes, you can copy it and paste it into your website, do fact checking, adjust it the way you want it, and then on your website, you could copyright it as yours. So the theory is that a lot of people will be asking it different questions in different ways, so it's going to respond based on how you ask the question. So the response may be different than somebody else's response, if that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So let's ramp up our business. Here's what we want to do, and you guys, we're going to do it together. I'm starting a new, this is all made up. I'm starting a new farm in Rossmore and Los Alamitos, okay? Did I spell it wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
sorry. That tells you that I'm not starting a farm in Rossmore. I actually chose Rossmore as the city because I thought it wouldn't know as much about it, like if I chose Newport Beach or something where it's resorty and there's a lot more information on it. So I thought, well, let's just see what it knows. So we'll take a look at that. I want to brand myself as a local market expert. I want to add content to my website that has information and positions me as the local market expert, specific to Rossmore. I'm creating farming materials, so I want to create a postcard once a month that goes out. I want to create a downsizing postcard. So I've decided that I'm going to take, that there's a fair amount of people there that are over 65, and that I'm going to market to them. So I use the title company, I got information, and I'm going to just send them a downsizing postcard to get started. I'm doing targeted videos about Rossmore, and I'm going to start a new property management business because I'm just killing it over there. And I'm going to start a new property management business. So we're going to do all of that in about 20 minutes, half an hour. Ready to roll? Okay. So now this is when I'm going to kind of go back and forth between my presentation and ChatGPT. So let's say I want to create a website, okay? And I want to add some content to the website that makes me look like a local market expert. So I could do something like ask, give me the top 5 reasons to live in Rossmore, Los Alamitos, and I'll spell it correctly.
Will that change the outcome, even the spelling?
No, because I spelled it wrong to begin with. In fact, what it does is it corrects it, so good question. I'm just gonna copy and paste it so you don't actually have to see me typing it out. Okay, so this is what the interface looks like. It's pretty simple. It doesn't have too many bells and whistles. So down below, in send a message, I'm just gonna paste what I had in there.
It's spelled wrong.
Oh.
Corrected it.
It corrected it.
It does correct it, right.
It did?
Yeah.
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 Oh, you're right.
So on the last one, I spelled a few things wrong, like I kept messing up
So the
management.
green, it's the AI typing right now?
Yes.
Yes,
You need to get
certainly,
a
here are
class.
top 5 reasons to live in Roswell, Los Alamitos. Oops,
It's doing it.
You need to get plus.
It's thinking apparently. Okay, am I the only one that this scares you? Cause this
No.
scares
Yeah,
me.
it's
no,
very
it
big.
is.
It's gonna replace.
It was way past
Yeah, it does
before, I
scare
don't
me.
know if it's the
Yeah.
AI.
Because we're teaching
Do you know how
them
many
to educate, to learn.
Jobs.
They were protesting at Warner Brothers.
Okay, so you can see that it says excellent school, well, number 1, peaceful, family-friendly community, excellent schools, convenient location, beautiful residential properties, amenities, etc. That was really quick,
That's the
like
scary
really
part.
quick. So you could literally, copy and paste it into, fact check it, copy and paste it into your, is there anything else you guys want me to ask it right now? What else would you wanna put on your website?
How long do they get it before it replaces us completely?
Should I ask it that?
Yeah,
Okay,
there you
now,
go.
give me another one.
How many people live in Roswell?
Okay,
1 year and 9 months.
how many people live in more those?
The perfectionist in you, Suzanne, just.
Yeah.
As of my knowledge, cutoff was September 2021.
10,000.
Approximately 10,244 residents.
More than I thought.
How do the schools are in the state?
How do the schools in those
Rank compared to the whole state?
rank compared to the rest of the state?
It's super quick, it's scary. Like you're not even processing your thoughts and stuff.
It's so fast, right?
The plus spits information out even faster.
Yeah. This one seems a little slow compared to,
Oh, that's fun.
slow.
yeah. Okay, so now I need some marketing, right? I'm getting started with this, I'm finished with my website, I've got some good content on there, and now I'm going to create a campaign to target downsizers, potential downsizers. So I created this quick postcard thinking about downsizing, get a free consumer guide that answers your most common questions about downsizing. No obligation, mailed free to your home, etc., right? A little QR code that would take them to a landing page to get this consumer guide. But I'm like, oh my God, I need a consumer guide. I need something to give them if somebody asks me, so I need to put that together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back out and ask ChatGPT, what are the top things to consider when downsizing my home? Instead of me writing it, okay, so. When downsizing your home, there are 10 important factors, and it's gonna list the 10.
Can't even think that fast.
I know.
Can't even put
Is
your
that
thoughts in there.
unbelievable?
No, you can't.
Jesus.
And even ends with, remember, the priorities and considerations may vary for each individual. It's essential to create a personalized list based on your specific
Maybe
needs,
just
da
look
da da da. So it's, it has a lot there that you can use as the basis for
Wow.
our consumer guide, okay? Everything's slow. Okay, so then I could actually take those 10 things, and I might actually be able to then take each individual point and make a video out of it. So always find ways to repurpose your marketing material. So this one guide, and I create this, very quickly. Might allow me to create several videos that I could post on my website. I could post to social media. I could use in these different ways. So if you're ever at a loss for content of what to put out there, I'm not, I'm drawing a blank, this is a good tool to use for that. So let's say I'm really gonna hit it hard with Rossmore Homes on an Instagram page. And I wanna make sure that I try to show up as much as possible. That means I need to put the hashtags in there and some keywords and things like that. So I might go out and ask ChatGPT what hashtags, let me see, give me the most used hashtags for Rossmore Homes in Los California. And there's 10 of them. Is that crazy?
I just like the reactions, but.
So yeah, there you go. You could copy and paste that into the hashtags for your social media posts, and there's another way to help you with that. Okay. All right, so let me just stop there right there for a second. Questions? Comments? Okay, can it help you respond to emails? Okay, so now I've done such a great job. I'm farming, I'm out there door knocking, I've sent my poster out, I've got my consumer guide going out there. And now I get an email from somebody who's read my stuff that says, "Dear Karen, my wife just passed away and I need to sell my house. What should I do?" And so let's say I'm thinking, I really want to be sensitive to this subject. I want to respond in a thoughtful way. And this is an example of how I want to show you how AI has learned to be empathetic. And by the way, in the newer upgraded version, you can dial up the empathy. Meaning, you can say, you can say, right now it's at a level of, I think what they call is just 1.0. If you wanted to say, make this a little bit more empathetic, you can dial up that, they call it a temperature, so that it rewrites it in a more empathetic way. So if I took that and I said, let me go back, my wife just passed away and I need to sell my house, what should I do?
With the body.
Start digging.
Oh, that's a whole other.
Does AI dig for you?
Tom, where's Sue, by the way?
You say she's not.
Still in Idaho, huh?
She's
Still in
lying.
Idaho.
She's been unusually missing.
Wow. Take care of yourself.
So yeah, let me go back once it stops. Okay, so at the very beginning it said, "I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. Dealing with the loss of a loved one is difficult, and selling a house during such a time can add additional challenges. Here are some steps you can consider taking. Take your time, seek support, consult with professionals, engage the service of an experienced real estate agent
Like myself.
who specializes in
Put
selling."
yourself in there.
Yeah.
Can you say, how do I respond to this
Yeah,
email?
you can literally
And
ask
then
it.
type that?
Let me write it down.
And this is the free one you're
How
using?
can I respond extremely empathetically?
I'm a real estate agent, so it does help to tell it who you are.
Keep feeding it. It's gonna become
I'm a real
more
estate
intelligent.
agent and received a message from a homeowner
About selling their house.
about selling their house after his
response.
Yeah, write me a response.
How fast that is.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
Look how fast that is.
Yeah. That's a long email.
You can even say like,
Yeah,
rewrite
yeah,
this
yeah.
response in like almost
So
5
let's go through that and then we'll
In
shorten
200
it.
words.
Okay, so it starts out, I'm deeply sorry to hear about the passing of your wife. Please accept my heartfelt condolences during this difficult time. Then down below, as a real estate agent, my role is to not only assist you with the practical aspects of selling your house, but also to provide compassionate support throughout the process.
Wow.
It's crazy. So, but I think what's great is it gives you a foundation where you can then just go and modify it.
Right.
But it's kind of like that example I used with Gmail, where it kind of finishes your sentence for you. Where you can then go in and take this, and that's very helpful to me, I think. That you can go in and take this and modify it, and I think it gives you a great starting point.
The hardest part about doing any of this stuff is the first draft.
Right.
It is, right, and the most time consuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can edit this quickly and make it your own
When
words.
you
It's not
turn up the
plagiarism.
temperature.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Can you
Yeah.
rewrite
You just, write me a response.
this response in less than 500?
That's
No, that's a
that's
lot.
a lot.
200.
200
or less. Yeah.
It's like a Twitter tweet.
200 words, not characters.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's so long.
Still long, yeah.
I think that's good though.
Anyways,
Yeah, especially if they emailed you and you're not sure about that.
right. So, okay, so
How do
now,
you turn up
Once
the
again.
temperature?
That's
So
the
it-
other
it's
printer.
in the
That's
other
the paid
one.
This is the free
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
have-
the free one.
I don't have the ability to do that here, but just kinda know that you can.
You can like tell it to be witty though. Like
Yeah,
witty
or add some humor to it, or.
I got a negative email, how do I respond without sounding angry?
That's
Just
still-
kidding.
About
Okay, so
figure
that's
it
a
out.
good example,
You
that
know what
I,
I'm
yeah, that's a good example,
Right.
one of the things I had listened to and heard trying to prepare for this was, the customer service manager has a complaint by a customer, okay?
Yeah.
And but the customer service manager wants to retain the relationship, so wants to write it in a way that would,
Firm.
help, what's
But-
that? Firm, but
but
trying to keep the relationship. And I kinda use this example, like if you know, being in a really difficult transaction, where maybe tensions are high, there's a lot going on,
Right.
there's emotions getting into it, and you get an email, and you wanna respond like, right? But you're like, I can't send that.
maybe you do type that into
Or maybe you say,
ChatGPT
yeah,
then
and you say,
rewrite this.
yeah, right, and that's what you do,
Yeah.
you say, rewrite this, I'm a real estate agent, I wanna retain my relationship with my client, can you rewrite this in a more professional manner?
Yeah,
And it will rewrite it.
take out all the.
Wow.
Yeah, take out all the,
Yeah. And the middle finger.
yeah, yeah, exactly,
Fascinating.
Just
exactly.
disappeared.
Right. Okay, so now, all this great marketing that I'm doing and all of that, I just landed my first listing. Okay, so one of the things you can use ChatGPT for is property descriptions. So tell me how you've been using it for property
I
descriptions.
just used it for the last one.
For the
It's pretty
last-
accurate, little things that you gotta switch,
Yeah,
but overall,
yeah.
just set the foundation, like.
Right,
it's
right. So I thought, give me an address and we'll put it in there and see what it says. It doesn't have to be, it can be anywhere.
10502 Hester Cypress.
What do the Rossmore one? Like, are they gonna pull anything specific about Rossmore?
Write a property, hold on one second.
What about the neighborhood?
It knows about the neighborhood?
For
It'll tell you about the.
10502.
10502
Hester.
Hester.
Hestor.
T-E-R.
Cypress.
Okay, is it drive, street?
Avenue.
We don't know.
Street.
Street code.
Wow.
Okay, here we go.
But it doesn't know the upgrades in it.
No, but look, you can start with that and plug in the upgrades. Look at that sound.
That's us waiting.
Let's go back up. It's a charming family home in desirable Cypress neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Say it, Sunshine Trail.
And
That's a good skeleton.
wow.
Upon entering, you'll be greeted by a spacious and light-filled living area featuring a floor plan and
Sounds like how Gary writes his description.
You've been using AI this whole
Did
time.
you know that Gary is ChatGPT?
Yeah,
That's really
That's why he's
yeah, that's where he
retired.
went.
Yeah, really what he's doing.
Yeah. And I did like, my father lives in a house that he built. It was a brand new house at the time in Huntington Beach. He's been there 50 years. It's never been on the market. I'm like, what would it say about that? Because
Right.
there really isn't anything on there. And it wrote like 6 paragraphs about a family-friendly neighborhood and the lifestyle things about Huntington Beach, and it got around not having the specifics of the bedrooms and bathroom count and stuff like that. It sounded really good.
That's so cool.
And then, like, arguably, the upgrades in the bedroom bathroom count are the easy thing to do.
Yeah,
You
right.
can plug in,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But it will know, it could pull from the realist.
Oh no,
So
I
it
then
could
I put
pull
in
up-
one that just sold around the corner from me. I'm like, is it just gonna pull the listing data, you know, and things like that? But it gave such a description of the surrounding area and all of that. So it's pulling from lots of different sources, not just,
Which prevents you from doing the research of the area if you're not familiar with your listing.
yeah,
Right.
so that's a good point. If it's an out of area listing, it might really help out.
So, you know how they're saying that we're not supposed to be saying like, oh, great for entertaining or family oriented?
So is it gonna follow the fair
Right.
housing guidelines?
You know,
And I
maybe
think
it's a
that's
single person who
We're
wants to
not
buy
allowed to
that
say great for
neighborhood.
entertaining.
It's really,
Not a family
Just tell
room
them
or
to talk to
master
your
or.
AI.
That's where she said that you have to make sure that
You
you.
can't say great for
Right.
entertaining.
so
But I
it's
wonder
not-
if you could say,
What if you don't have a family?
make it
What if you're
fair housing
Well, you would-
compliant.
You're
Yeah.
insulting.
You can't say
Oh,
walk
I
in
see.
Yeah,
closet.
but you could.
Because you
That-
might be
God,
careful
sensitive
with it.
people.
Yeah.
And not too
Fair
much.
housing is federal, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
If I'm in a future, I
Then
can't
move
watch
on
it.
if you're not.
I think the bottom line is, you need to check it for fair housing, you need to
You're
check it
offended.
for all of those things.
A lot of people.
North Carolina, they say, still say no.
I'm
Will
coming
generation.
I might be moving this sooner than I thought.
Okay.
Can't say walk.
All right, so we're getting down here, we've got a great website,
Fine,
we've got some
crawl, walk.
marketing going
It's gonna
out.
be a half a mile.
I told you earlier that ChatGPT likes to help brainstorm ideas with you, right? So I've decided that I'm introducing my new property management business for homes in Rossmore. And what I'm going to do is ask it, I'm starting a property management business for homes in Rossmore. Can you give me 10 creative business name ideas, preferably under 20 characters? So I don't have to actually type all of that out. I'm just gonna copy and paste it.
Carrie, while she's doing that, what do you see, how is that gonna affect the office and the number of agents, and you think we'll see less and less and?
No, because you can't take out the human factor of real estate, period.
I mean, just the email with the empathy, to me, it's like,
Right.
it is, right?
Yeah,
That's the
but
human.
not really, you're the one sending the email. It's not gonna send emails without a human doing it.
Somebody has to decide.
For now,
That'll be the 5.0
For now.
GPT.
Maybe.
yeah, for now.
But it,
Yeah.
I mean, forever, people have been saying, you know, companies like Zillow are gonna take away real estate agents, this, that, it doesn't happen.
That didn't scare me at all. This just kind of goes, ooh.
I don't feel that way. I
Okay.
feel that this is just another tool for us to utilize.
Okay.
This is not going to, with real estate, nobody is gonna do a transaction for you. A computer's not gonna do the transaction for you. They're not gonna get out there and put you in front of people to meet them and clients and things like that. That's the human factor of real estate. That will never go away.
And I always think of the negotiation piece of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you're in it and you've got like, you know, the agents are speaking for and acting on behalf of their clients. If you had a buyer and seller trying to make this happen, oh my God, how many times would it fall
Yeah.
apart?
Yeah.
Right? So that's the piece also, that's that human
The
element.
human element, yeah.
Yeah, I think what they're going to try to do is the disruptors try to find ways to use automation and
Mhm.
technology for repetitive type tasks.
Mhm.
It's the human element that
you cannot replace.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it gives me, a list of, creative names for my new property management business. I could say,
Keenness.
create more creative
I mean,
names.
in response, think of the companies that are going under right now.
Mhm.
Purple Bricks went under. Open Door not doing well. Those were all companies that tried to take out the realtor as part of the transaction. Didn't work, did it?
Haas Hut has a robot.
Who?
Haas Hut delivers your food to you.
What?
Somebody got fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I did not
that's
know that.
funny.
Somebody still has to
Yeah,
explain
it's
what
funny.
credit card is.
For now, you guys,
Where-
we keep
what
feeding
table
it
goes
though,
on.
we
Yeah.
keep making it
It went
smarter,
to wrong
that's the
table,
thing,
kept saying
it's
everything.
learning.
Yes, right.
That's the thing that
Yeah.
worries me, this is not it, you know?
Right. So what if I wanted to create a blog and I wanted content for that blog? I could start, or maybe I want some information for my website. What are the pros and cons? Remember how I said it does a good job at giving the pros and cons for different things?
Mhm.
What are the pros and cons of using a property management company, right? Can anybody think of anything else you'd wanna ask it? The pros and cons? I'll put this in while you're thinking.
What exactly would you do?
What exactly?
Does the property manager, your company?
Oh, what does
does
a
your
property management
do?
company do? Okay. What does a property?
Cause that might vary to company to company.
Has a wide range of services.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I could even say, condense that down into
Top five.
top five things,
yeah,
whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, just kind of get the gist of it.
overall property.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is, remember how I said it actually does a better job of translating? So because, I've noticed through my door knocking that there's a lot of Chinese speaking, people living in Rossmore, I'm making that up. I wanna take some of this and I wanna say translate this into Chinese.
Wow. Oh my god, stop it.
So then on your website, you can have the different languages.
Can you type, we don't know if that's right, can you put it in
And I
Armenian so
don't
I
know how to
can see?
fact check this.
Yeah,
No
that's what I'm
clue.
thinking, nobody speaks.
Yeah.
Can you type in another language so I can see if it's accurate? 'Cause that could be like,
I mean, you can
For
copy that and
Armenian.
put it in Google Translate and see if it's.
Okay.
I know, I'm.
How do you remember each line?
Translate this into
Armenian.
Armenian.
MENIAN.
N-I-A-N, yeah.
Ah, look at
Did I spell
that.
it right?
What if you go from English to Armenian? Maybe it can't go from Chinese.
To Armenian.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, maybe.
Am
Okay.
I
We
wrong?
stumped
We
the
Found
AI.
something. This makes me feel so good.
You can't do.
This makes me feel so good.
Okay.
That's funny.
Is this something went wrong over here?
She's not in today, she's out of the office.
We'll just talk to you about the English and then tell us to go to.
Yeah, right.
So this is free, anybody could use right now, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
I think
Why
it like
shouldn't you?
bombed out on that last
No.
request.
California's where everything.
Anyways, you get the
That's
gist of
amazing.
that there, yeah.
Please don't do that.
So, I guess just in closing, like, get into it, go play around with it. I think if you're looking for content, you know, you can't hurt it any, it's easy, you sign in with your email, just a quick sign up. Just go to chatgpt.com and you can sign in and use it, it's pretty easy. And I think finding ways to use it for marketing is a super big help, but, hopefully that gave you some little bit of
That was very helpful.
Right.
info.
Right.
Right, yeah.